Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people that subscribe to me and people on Facebook, you know who I am, and this is my special NFL preseason special. Excuse me. I'll be going out over the big things that have happened in the preseason, all the new players, the new coaches, and some bad news, and some of the big shockers of the year. And I'll give you my preseason playoff predictions. But first, let's start with the familiar faces and new places. Here we go. As far as for quarterbacks, Jason Campbell now plays for the Browns. Matt Castle to the Vikings. Chase Daniels will now play for the Chiefs. Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Titans. Matt Flynn to the Raiders. David Garrard, who cares? Matt Hasselbeck to the Colts. Kevin Colbert to the Bills. Colt McCoy to the 49ers. Carson Palmer to the Cardinals. Brady Quinn to the Seahawks. John Skelton to the Bengals. Alex Smith to the Chiefs. And S. Wallace to the Saints. Now, to me, just on that list alone, I think the two teams who came out smelling like roses on this are the Colts and the Chiefs. I think Chiefs now have a quarterback in Alex Smith that they can use, and I know Andy Reid's on 11, and I'll get to Andy Reid in a little bit. And of course, Matt Hasselbeck, he gets to be the teacher, the mentor to the young Andrew Luck. It should be a great combination. Of course, Carson Palmer, he gets to finally go to a team where he can actually have decent receivers. As far as for running backs, Patriots have got two new ones in Leon Washington and one of the ones from the Bucks, but really running backs really haven't caught much of the eye this year. The only big one I think is Reggie Bush going to the Lions. So that's here to near there. As far as for wide receivers, I think the biggest surprise this year has got to be, it's either one of three people. Percy Harvin to the Seahawks, Greg Jennings to the Vikings, which I'm sure pissed off my buddy Travis, and of course, Wes Walker to the Broncos, which I think the Patriots will even miss that more than ever now. Tight ends, really nothing really surprising except for Dustin Keller, and kickers no one gives a shit about. At least I don't anyway. Now, before I get to the coaches and the injured players, I want to talk about something that's been going on. Something that's very upsetting. And this involves Hernandez from the Patriots. It has not been a good year for NFL players. There's at least been, since now counting the Hernandez incident, there have now been, I believe, 28 arrests on NFL players after the Super Bowl was over. That is sad. And by the way, the judge denied Aaron Hernandez's bail request only one day after he was charged with murder. Stupid piece of shit on that. I apologize if that pissed anybody off, but I forgot I had my speaker on. Well, that happens sometimes, boys and girls. Shit happens. Now, so I'll leave that botch in there. Now, of course, everybody wants to know what is going to happen. What will the Patriots do? I don't know. I'm sure the Patriots right now are like, we're in trouble. Because, you got Rob, but he's coming off from the injury list. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Now, as far as for new coaches, Arizona has Bruce Arians. I know I'm mispronouncing that name. He helped the Colts get to the playoffs last year. But the question is this. Was that because of him and Andrew Luck, or was that just a fluke? We'll see with Arizona. Bears have a new head coach in Doug M. Bears, I ain't saying nothing about that. Carolina Panthers have a new coordinator. Bears have, and this is the team I'm upset with the most. They have Mark, a Canadian Football League coach. I don't think Lovie Smith should have been fired. I know a lot of Bears fans were probably happy. My opinion is, how can you fire somebody who had a winning season? I just don't fucking get that. That'd be like firing a straight A. That'd be like suspending a straight A student just because he missed one day. It'd be stupid. Browns have a new head coach as well. Who cares? Pretty much the only head coaches I think teams that will have a new head coach and it will work. Arizona, Chiefs, Eagles, and Chargers. But I'm going to say this. I'm looking at all four of them. Only two teams catch my eye saying they're going to have a great year this year. That's Cardinals and Chiefs. Eagles, I don't know if that new system is going to work in its first year as far as San Diego, that all falls on the fact of you need Rivers to show up. Now, injuries. Let's start with the two that are biggest for the QBs. You have RG3, who will be coming back from a torn right ACL this year. Here's my thing, and I know a lot of the Skins fans may not want to hear this, and I'll be honest, I'm a Dallas fan, but I respect the Redskins organization. RG3 is in a very difficult place right now. Everyone's saying, oh, he's going to be 100%, he'll be ready for game one. Here's my thing, I don't think it's going to be that the leg will be 100% is my main question. It's going to be, is he going to be ready mentally 100%? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to use Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls on this. He was cleared to be in the playoffs, but he never played. His mind was not ready. He was not 100% mental there. To go back on the leg. That's what it's going to be with RG3. Is he 100% mentally ready? That's the question. If he is not, do not be surprised if he doesn't play in the first few games. And to be honest, looking at the Redskins' schedule, going to it right now. Your first four games are Philly, Green Bay, Detroit, and Oakland. The only real hard game out of those four is at Green Bay. Because Philadelphia rivalry, okay, that may be hard. Detroit, and then Oakland. Okay. If RG3 is not ready, you have the backup, Cousins, had to look at the name, and let him play the first four games. If it was me, I would tell RG3, we're not going to put you into probably the Oakland game, so you can have at least one good game in you, and then after the bye week, we'll put you in fully when you start off against Dallas. That's what I would do. Because here's the question on this, and I pose this to the Skin fans. The fact remains, RG3 will be heading into recovery, the new season, recovering from an ACL tear. No matter his progress, and there's no telling when he'll be 100%. And I want to know, how often do you think Shanahan will risk running him in his first few games back if he's not mentally ready? That's the question. I want the Skins fans to think on that. I don't want to hear, oh, he'll be in game one. I want you to really think about it. Now, as far as for Michael Vick, there's the other one. He's missed 12 games since 2010 to 2012. He's getting up there. I don't know if I don't even know if he's going to be the Eagles starting quarterback by the season's over. I don't know. Other than that, you also got Jones-Drew, Trent Edwards, Bradshaw, Stewart, DeMarco Murray, who will come back from injury. Nix, Bryant, Jennings, and Harvin also coming from injury. Rob Krasowski and Scott Shandor also coming back from injury. Now, of course, one of the biggest news signings was the fact Tim Tebow was signed by, is now a Patriot. A lot of people were like, no, that's not good. But now with this situation with Hernandez, will the Patriots use him as a tight end? I don't know. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Now, excuse me. Now is the part where I try to be like an ESPN guy and, give you my predictions for the playoffs. What 6 teams will make it for the NFC and AFC. I'm going to start with the AFC. We're going to start with the AFC North because that's why I believe the number 1 seed will come out of this year. It pretty much comes down to the Colts and Texans, and I'm going to take the Colts on this one. I just feel with Andrew Luck being in his second year, and he's got Matt Hasselbeck as his backup to mentor him as well, I just feel everything will go their way in the South. I mean, Titans, I'm a little iffy on Jaguars. They got a whole new thing going on there. I don't think they'll be ready in the first year. Maybe next year, yeah. But it should be interesting. And I want to know, and I'm just going to say this right now, take a look at the Colts schedule. They got a lot. They don't have a lot of. They don't have a lot of easy games. I mean, if you take the Rams out, you take Arizona out, they got a lot of in Kansas City, in Miami and Oakland. They have the Niners, Seahawks, Denver, Houston twice, Bengals. They got a lot of tough teams who are either close to making the playoffs last year or made it to the playoffs. So that's going to be a key factor. And the bye week's in week 8, so injuries may not be as bad as for them, with the teams who have an earlier bye week, because my thing is this: if you have a bye week and between week 4 and 6, yeah, I don't trust you to make it, because injuries will happen to you more quickly down the road. But, like I said, I'm taking the Colts to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Number 2 seed, I am staying in the north, going up north a bit. We're going from the south to the north. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to do it again. I know a lot of people are not riding high on them right now because they did lose a lot of talent. A lot of players retired or left the team. I think, and I'm calling ESPN out on this because ESPN said Colts and Ravens would not make it. And I have to disagree. I think Ravens have a great shot. I mean, Browns are Browns. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, that's always tough. But and they play New England again. And they got a lot of tough games ahead. But I just feel that, with what they got, and I think Joe Flacco is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl, but he still doesn't get respect, which is fucking sad. They got a good tight end. They got a great run game, too. But it's going to depend. It's time for these guys who normally do not get the play time or are not known yet on the Ravens to step up and play the game. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And on defense, defense, there's nothing wrong with the Ravens. It's going to be the offense that people have questions with. But Ravens are my number 2 seed. I just feel that with their defense and what they do have left on the offense, it will help them. Alright, 3rd seed. We are going to the West. And believe it or not, this is my dark horse pick for the West. I think everybody's going to be taking Denver. But I am not sold on this Denver team. I think a lot of people were last year. I was not one of them. I didn't believe the hype, and I still don't believe the hype. And I'm looking at their schedule right now. I mean, come on. You played the Ravens, who made the playoffs. You played the Giants, which is always a hard team to beat. You played Dallas, who almost made the playoffs last year. The Colts. You play the Skins, who did make the playoffs but did not do well. You got New England, and you got Houston, who also made the playoffs. The only teams they're facing who did not make the playoffs last year, who were not even close to making the playoffs, is Jacksonville. Because, okay, you play Oakland twice, you play Kansas City twice. I mean, not Tennessee, my mistake. You play San Diego twice, and you play Kansas City. There we go. So, yeah, those winnable games. But I'm not picking Denver. I'm picking Kansas City. I feel with Andy Reid, and they're going to have Alex Smith, and they have a great run game. I mean, I've never heard anyone complain about their run game. And it's going to be interesting. But the question is, can Andy Reid get them ready for a playoff run? I mean, the first 5 games are not easy. I mean, they're at Jacksonville, but then they play Dallas, then Philly, then New York, then Tennessee. The Week 3 game is going to be the question there. That's going to decide, if they can get off of Week 5 with at least 2-3 wins, there's a shot. But if they do not have that and they go to Oakland, then they're in trouble. But I'm going to take Kansas City wins it by a hair. Wins it by 1 game over Denver. Next, the East. This is a hard one because now taking what's going on with the Patriots, Miami's been making moves. It really comes down to those 2 teams, Miami and the New England Patriots. And I'm going to stick with the Patriots on this one. I cannot bet against Tom Brady. Now, granted, Brady's not going to have his main weapons as usual, so I don't know if that's going to hurt them down the road. But I don't think the Bills are going to do anything. The Jets feel like a fucking soap opera on CBS. It feel like the Days of Our Lives crap. So I'm not even going to put the Jets in the conversation. But I said New England will win this, get the 4th seed. Now, wildcard teams. The 5th seed, I'm going to say it goes to Houston. I think they will get this one. I think Houston will make it back again. I feel confident in them being a wildcard team. Hell, I will not be surprised if they do win the division again. But I got to stick with Houston. I do love their quarterback. I love their system. Now, 6th seed. This is where I had a problem. Because I had 3 teams. Bengals, Broncos, and the Dolphins here. Which one would it be? And I eliminated the Bengals because I don't trust them. I think they were a flash in the pan. So then it goes to Denver and Miami. And I want to pick Miami just because I love what they're doing. I really do. But, you know, it's one of these things. You know, I love who they got at running backs. I love that, you know, they're building up, you know, to be a, you know, building up quick. You know, they got a lot of good new stuff coming in. But I don't know if it's going to be, if it's going to be their time this year. I'm going to say Denver will be the 6th seed, barely beating out Miami. As far as for the worst team in the AFC, I'm actually going to go with Jacksonville just because they got a whole new bunch of shit going on. Again, that is my opinion. I'm sure some of you will agree, some will not, but hey, that is fine. It's life. People don't agree on everything. Moving to the NFC, we're going to start with the NFC South. This would be why my number 1 seed is, and we are going to be, of course, taking the New Orleans Saints. I feel that last year with the Falcons, I think they just, you know, with all that happened to the Saints, I think Falcons were the smart choice in the South. Now, Falcons did get a lot of great talent. You know, we talked about it earlier. You know, they got a great new running back in them in Jackson. But I just feel at the same time getting all the pieces back, they will be the number 1 seed again. But maybe Atlanta will get in. You'll find out later. But for now, Saints will be the number 1 seed. Oh, now we're going to the 2 seed. And believe it or not, I'm jumping to the NFC West. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers on this one. I just feel that they really haven't lost a lot of momentum, and I feel they will be they're guaranteed to be back in as far as I'm concerned. I love the Niners, what they did last year. You know, I'm a little bit upset how they dealt with Alex Smith. I feel he got a raw deal. But Kaepernick, this is going to be your first year now as the quarterback for all the games. So, it's time to put up a show because I know a lot of people are not sold on Kaepernick yet. Here's my thing. If Kaepernick has a great season this year, then it will prove that Niners made the right decision. But if he has a bad year, then it will show that Niners made the wrong decision getting rid of Alex Smith. We will see. But for now, I'm going to say Niners get the 2nd seed. 3rd seed, we're going to the North, baby. And of course, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers on this one. I cannot bet against Aaron Rodgers. My biggest problem, though, with the Packers, and I think, Travis, if you're watching this, you would agree with me, is this. It's the running game I'm worried about. Last year, that was one of the big key issues I believe you and me discussed. Now, of course, with them losing Jennings as a receiver, that's going to play a key factor as well. But it's going now for some of the receivers who normally don't get time. This is your time to step up. Let's see what happens. Packers will be the 3rd seed. Now the 4th seed. We're going to the East. This one, once again, I had problems. For some reason, both of the East ones were giving me problems. I don't know why. I don't think Philadelphia is going to do much. I think with the whole new system, and I'm sorry to some of my friends who are Eagles fans, but I just can't trust the new system, and I can't trust Michael Vick since he's, like I said, he's missed 12 games between the 2010 and 2012 season. That bothers me a bit. Pretty much to me, it's going to be a 3-team race again. I look at the Giants. I'm not sold on them again. I just feel like with the Giants, if I've noticed, once they have a great year, I mean, look, last time they won the Super Bowl, they had a few bad years after it. I think that's going to be the case here. So it comes down to Dallas and Washington again. I think it's going to come down to that again. I mean, it could be decided in Week 16, maybe, depending on what happens, because that's when Washington would face Dallas the last time. Now, luckily for Dallas, and this is where I will say this is where things get interesting. It's going to come down to the bye weeks. I think that plays a key factor in this. Where Washington has a bye week in Week 5, which could hurt them, because their bye week is so early that they may not have more time to let players rest. Because, I mean, when you have a week off, that helps your players rest more. That helps you get healed up a little bit quicker because you don't have to work as hard or you don't have to play when you're hurt. That helps. Where in Dallas, their bye weeks in Week 11, that plays a key factor in this decision. Also the fact that RG3, I don't know how he is. So this one really comes down to this. If RG3 is 100% mental and the Skins can carry over what they did last year into this year, then I will say Redskins will win this division. However, if everything goes their way, and the big question mark is also the quarterback and Tony Romo, because I'm honest, I can't. After last season's debacle, I don't know why he got re-signed. I don't know why we still have him. And I say that as a Dallas Cowboy fan who grew up in the, love it, and the guys like Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and all that. And I still remember those days fondly. But that was then. This is now. To me, for Tony Romo, this is your put up or shut up year. All right? Because, a lot of people are mad at you because of what happened. I'm one of them. I mean, yeah, okay, you almost threw for 5,000 yards last year. I don't care about that. I want wins. I want playoff victories. All right? And 8-8, hey, that's average. You can do better. It's time for Romo to either step up or shove off, as the saying goes. Now, I will say this. Whoever is second place in the East will be the 5th seed. So either Dallas or Washington would be the 5th seed. That's a fact in my opinion. I think one of those two teams, whichever one doesn't win the division, will be the 5th seed. So that's out of the way. Because I think both those two teams will make it. I just can't say which one's getting the 4th or 5th seed right now, just because there's too many questions with the quarterbacks. Now the 6th seed. I'm taking Atlanta on this one. I just feel Atlanta, they will get in. I just don't think they're going to be able to take the Saints over in the South. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, what about Minnesota? They made it last year. I don't trust the fucking quarterback at all. Yeah, you got a great run game. You got great receivers. I don't trust your fucking quarterback to save my life.